Okay, I want to make this video. This is the last one I'm going to make tonight, but it was just some stuff that was going through my brain about the competition that people want to create that exists in their mind. And then all I do is just get irritated and kind of start hating them. Not hating them, but it's like for whatever reason they feel like, and I don't know why they feel like they want to compete with me. I think it's because they feel intimidated, like they need to prove to themselves that they have value or something. It's not like just because I am who I am, it's not like I can't do anything wrong or I can't make mistakes or something like that. I mean, I'm only human. I get tired, I get exhausted, I can forget things, I could do things like that. I'm not a superhuman, you know what I mean? So like when I was working at Flourishing Fart, you know, some of the girls were just acting really stupid, and it gets to the point where, you know, it's like they're feeling insecure about who they are, and they're constantly trying to compare themselves to me or whatever. And believe me, when I need people to understand that when I'm around them, I'm not doing that. I'm not sitting here thinking, oh, I'm better than anybody. I'm just sitting there trying to go to work and pay my bills, okay? And that's probably pretty much all I'm trying to do. I don't sit here and think, well, let me compete against her, like, I know I can win. As if, you know, there's certain things that, okay, like, for example, when I was working over at the mining company, okay, this guy had his friend, I guess assistant, who was a CPA, right? Like, I think I mentioned this one before. And the CPA, of course, certified public accountants know more than I do. Of course they do. They do, okay? They just do. You know, and he kept, like, you know, comparing notes, you know, what I knew and what he goes, and he knows that. Like he was trying to use his friend or his associate to try to beat me or something. And it's like, you know what, I get so tired of those interactions because they think that, you know, you're born on this earth with all this, with everything in your brain. That's what they think. They have so many misconceptions as to what intellectual abilities are, okay? Now, do I know a lot? Am I well-read in certain subjects? Yeah. Do I have certain skills that other people don't have? I would say yeah, but does that mean, like, for example, I've never taken trigonometry, okay? So there's people who know trig, okay? There's people who are great at all kinds of things that I'm not familiar with, okay? And I don't know what it is. It's just they feel so insecure around me. It gets to be annoying. And I'm not interested in playing a competition. It's always these one-sided competitions that I don't care about playing. I don't care, you know? And I get so tired of that, you know? And so that's one of the reasons why when I look for friendships, you know, I look for people who have confidence, you know, people who are confident. Because those kind of relationships, they'll never survive. They just will never work. Because, you know, it becomes cutthroat and it becomes compulsive. And once that happens, it's like it just goes to shit from there. So I gotta have, when it comes to, you know, I could deal with it in some ways. What I mean by that is you can't expect it to go away forever because there's always going to be some insecure person. But, you know, as far as me developing relationships with those sort of people, no way. I wouldn't want to hang out with them. I don't want to go and develop any relationship with them. Other than, you know, so you have to work with some people, okay? But it's like, as far as coming over to my house, spending additional time, bonding, developing any sort of relationship or feeling for these sort of people, the answer is no, okay? Because these people are destructive, okay? A good example would be my sister. Okay, this competition existed in her mind. I'm not trying to bring up the subject and keep bashing her because I'd like to move on from this. I really would, but it's this sort of stuff that I can't deal with. Okay, and it could be bad. It could be really bad. Okay, so believe me, when you're encountering me, I'm just here to do my job. Okay, I want to do my job well. What you have on your desk has nothing to do with what's on my desk, okay? And what I'm doing has nothing to do with what you're doing. So it doesn't matter, okay? I am not a superhuman, okay? That doesn't mean that, like, I'm going to tell you what, my ass has been dragging. My ass has been dragging a lot, okay, because I'm tired. I've been dealing with sleep deprivation, severe depression, anxiety, and fear 24 hours a day, nonstop, 7 days a week, because I'm in a program that I fear is going to kill me. So I'm going to tell you, operating under that sort of pressure is terrible, okay? So that's not to say that, so then you're going to sit here and try to pile and beat up on somebody who's already fucked up. I mean, seriously, it just gets old. It really does. So I get tired of these one-sided competitions, and they're foolish. They're absolutely foolish, and I don't care anything about them. So it's been going on for quite a long time. It started intensifying, like, right around Flourishing Fart. And I thought, what was going on at the mining company with that accountant or whatever, it's like, they really do think that I popped out of the womb with the knowledge of, like, everything that they know. Is that what they think? That's ridiculous, but people have such crazy misconceptions. I would say I do have a lot of talents. I have great analytical abilities. I do think well. I do think I analyze things. I'm able to, what's the word for it? Like, for example, I can compartmentalize situations. I can make sense. I can make order out of chaos. I could take opposing views and somehow make them work so where they can work together. I'm good at, my mind I'm a great problem solver, okay? I do have certain skills, okay, that are of great worth, okay? But like I said, there are certain things I'm sure you've done or some people have done. They have certain skills and talents that I've never even heard of before, okay? So I think I get tired of the constant one-upping, trying to play that game. I hate it, okay? I really do. I hate it. And it's like you're starting off on a bad foundation, and it's absolutely unnecessary, and I certainly would never want to develop a relationship with someone like that. So it is hard to find, confident people like that. It really is. But, like I said, I'd rather not have any friends at all than have to deal with someone like that. I don't believe in wasting my time on frenemies, I guess. I forgot where that term came from, but it's true. And I do look at most people as just like, I don't know, a waste of my time when it comes to developing strong relationships with them when they were like that, because it's always destructive. It's never a productive relationship. And so, I do remember the times where I did have people that I cared about, and usually they had good qualities and good traits that attracted me to them. Of course, they're probably all trash now because, very few people are immune to gang stalking, okay? But at the time where I enjoyed their company, that's what I remembered about them. They were confident people and whatever. But now I'm looking for even more than that. I want sincerity, and I want people who are aware, or, I would never want somebody to roll over me. I would never do that to somebody. I would never do what these people have done to me. I just wouldn't. But anyway, I get tired of people projecting or, becoming extremely insecure around me. It just, I can see right through it too, and it's really a drag. It's a drag. It really is. It's like they got to prove stuff, and I remember this one girl. She just lost it. She's like, you think you're so much better than everybody. I didn't even say a word to her, and she was just literally coming unglued. It was ridiculous. So I just wanted to say that, before I kind of wind down for the evening, because it is irritating, and I'm tired of dealing with it, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just wish I could be around people who made me feel normal, for a change, just kind of like not have to deal with that all the time. That would be nice. That would be great. It really would be. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video. Have a wonderful evening.